both, and I
Oh, this is exciting. Actually, it's all exciting. This unexpectedness of life. We never know what's coming. I think that can be terrifying to some people, and they try to forecast the future and um, have lots of means of doing that. Astrology and casting
Mhm.
bones and
Lots and lots of means.
lots and lots of fear-driven activities.
Hmm. I feel like the fear is subconscious to try to understand it and give it a word and a story.
Life is fearful. Life as a human in particular is fearful. We imagine a future full of possible catastrophes, and that has advantages. I mean, we're tribal, and it helps to prepare, I suppose. It has survival value, although
Mhm.
it creates anxiety and, in some cases, panic attacks.
Yeah. Hmm.
Uh,
That's why I say that mechanism, the survival mechanism can run amok and create neurosis.
mm. I wonder if that's the origin of all neuroses. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. Um, and I don't know if that's just old age or just a relaxing after a lifetime of struggle. Maybe it's exhaustion. I don't know, and I don't care anymore.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of both.
Nah, maybe a little bit of both. True. Yeah, it's so easy. It's all so easy now. It didn't used to be. Life is hard. Life as a human being is, I think, double hard.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. I always say even the people that are well adapted and think they're not traumatized are traumatized.
hmm. Life is a struggle. There's always things trying to kill us, bacteria, virus. No longer cave bears, thank goodness, but other human predators. Uh, the older I get, the more I appreciate human beings. Just the raw courage it takes to be human, with all of its travails, all of its issues, money problems, and relationship problems, and my
Awkwardness.
go ahead.
I just said awkwardness.
Awkwardness, yes. My granddaughters are going through adolescence now, and that's hard. Adolescence is hard for everyone. We think we're so awkward. Uh,
What makes it more awkward is the idea that we should not be awkward.
oh, true. Yeah, awkward people invariably are unable to accept their awkwardness. Oh my goodness. There has come the most delightful fearlessness in my life. Not frightened of what I'm going to say and not pre-planning.
Mm.
Uh, Open to spontaneity more and more. The fun I have with people. Um, most of my interactions are very, I suppose, superficial. Asking old men if they want to wrestle and telling couples how beautiful they are.
I don't see it as superficial.
Yeah, it's all superficial, isn't it? It's light on water. It's just, it doesn't, what? It doesn't have anywhere to settle. I saw an old couple walking to the car holding hands, and I said, "You two are so beautiful." Oh, thank you. How long have you known each other? We've been married for 54 years. I said, "Oh my." And I'm thinking, oh, they have so many stories between them. And then they're gone. Everyone I see is a whole library of experiences collected over a lifetime that I'll never get to know.
Mm.
It seems so beautiful, although even that is disappearing. I hear very sophisticated people in these groups talk about it's all love,
Mm.
and even that is gone now.
Yeah, I
Ever,
suppose it depends on what you mean when you say that.
oh, truly,
Mm.
truly, it's all
I'm starting to fall in love with people for the first time.
mm,
I admire your love for humanity, and
mm,
it's a wonder. I've always been too scared to admire people and too self-centered to admire people.
ah,
But it's starting to happen. I'll disappear and I'm just like, wow, you know. Um, all of it's so automatic and spontaneous, like you said, what makes a personality and the traumas they've been through. And
mm,
it's like art.
like hard. I think I think when you're a beautiful young woman, um, some care can be exercised in that. Some men will misunderstand uh, that open, bright-eyed, beautiful look comes through our eyes. When an old man can be fearless, no one misunderstands me. I don't think it hasn't happened yet. What was it? Well, I don't know. I don't care. Uh, I haven't been rebuffed in 15 years. No one's ever said, "What the?"
Oh my gosh, if that happens, you got to tell me about it though.
Yeah, I will. I will. Um, it's always spontaneous. I don't plan these things, but it happens every time we go out. Every time. Um, our son took us out to dinner for my wife's birthday, and the waiter, I just fell in love with. Very, very thin, very gaunt, very gentle, and trying so hard to do his job.
Mm.
And another young man I met while standing in the urinal next to him. I said, "How you doing?" He says, "I'm fine." It was at a very expensive hotel, and I said, "Are you here for the at the hotel?" He said, "Yeah, we are." And then we started a conversation, and then we carried it conversation on outside, and we I met his wife, and oh God, it was wonderful. And they giggled and laughed, and I found out where he worked. He owns a large jewelry shop in San Luis Obispo, and I'm going to go in and visit him.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I know being a waiter is one of the hardest jobs I've ever had.
Oh, God. Oh, it's hard. I did it once. I've always liked to have been a waiter in a very expensive restaurant. We were in Ruth Chris or Chris Ruth's, I don't know how to say that, a very expensive steak house in Las Vegas one time. And one of the people we bought from took a bunch of clients out, and there must have been 20 people, but the waiter came around and he remembered everything everybody wanted. He didn't write anything down. It was so good with everybody. And I thought, oh, I'd like to do that. I don't know if I could remember 20 people, but he was so good. And I'll bet he got a $500 tip. The bill was, I don't know, a lot, but I'll bet anything he got a really good tip. Uh,
Yeah, that's talent right there.
oh, truly.
People can be cruel when you're a waiter or a waitress. They're not always nice.
No, no. Oh, no. Um, yeah, I got a taste of that, and it was wounding.
Yes.
But one time I read that sometime in your life you should leave $100 tip. And my wife and we owned businesses in Cambria and we're doing well. And we thought, okay, tonight. And the lady who was waiting on it was a very packed steakhouse, and the lady who was waiting on us was so stressed, and it was so busy, and they were underhanded, and uh, she was just working so hard. And a couple of tables were not being kind to her, and so she was having a terrible time. And she messed our menu up, and I didn't care. I wanted to try
No.
something new anyway. Never tried sweetbreads before. And so anyway, we left her $100 tip, and she came running out to the car crying. And she said, "Oh my God, you guys, you don't know what this means to me."
No.
She said, "I'm going to share it with everybody that's helped me tonight." And I said, "Oh, that's so sweet." But it is the little things that we do that people remember. I suppose they remember big things too, but it's those little tender moments,
Hmm.
the touch of a hand,
Yeah. Yeah, I always felt like I wasn't available emotionally, uh, just as a human to human interaction because of my social anxiety
mm.
um, throughout my life. But it really is starting to get much lighter, especially talking to you guys and uh, most of you are sweet, the people in this community, and um, you know, usually there's not judgments. That's why I like Michael Jeffrey's Zooms because it's very um, whatever it is, it's okay.
Hmm. I grew up as a withdrawn child. We went to so many different schools, and I never had friends or wanted them really, because if your parents drink heavily, you never know what's going to happen. So
Yeah.
you really don't want friends coming over. And, if you're in a town for a short period of time, there's no reason to develop friends anyway.
Hmm.
And which only adds to the loneliness that's endemic in the human experience. I
Yeah.
think that almost everyone I know who has stepped into this river has been through the gates of hell in one way or another. Can be depression, anxiety, emotional isolation, social isolation. Um, I don't know of anybody that's had a happy childhood that has arrived at this gate, whatever you want to call it. Maybe it's just a collapse, just a giving up. I don't know anymore.
I think that's a very beautiful way to describe it. Your psyche breaks in a way, you
Yeah,
know.
I'm broke. I'm broken. I broke. Yeah.
And then what do? You laugh or cry.
Somewhere a long time ago, I mentioned that it feels like you're drowning, and something lets go and you find you can breathe underwater.
Yeah.
Um, the gasping and struggling to keep your head above the water. Something just sweeps you away. That night in Las Vegas, I don't know what happened, but something dramatic happened. And I never saw the world the same again. And it seems that in the 15 or so years since then, the little that was left is starting to disappear. That all ideation,
Hmm.
all all concepts about anything doesn't seem to be there anymore. That includes all ideas about love and compassion and
Mm.
everything. It's just ideas about things that don't actually exist. And any method I hear over and over again, people talk about suggestions or methods.
Hmm. Hmm.
And a part of me thinks, wow.
Your face, Michael. Like, what the fuck? I know what you mean. Because it's so unknown how any of this comes about. How can you say? how to do anything for God's sake. Like,
Oh God, yes. Oh, I love that. I wrote something this morning, one of those things that I write about we can never know anything and never understand anything. No one ever has or ever will. And it kind of stretches that out as thinly as I could with words. And at the end, I didn't know how to end it. I thought, well, even this is
mm,
expressing something about our condition or trying to.
hmm
And there was no way to end that with
mm.
to get across what I was trying to get across. There was no way to end that.
Open-ended. Mhm.
It's open-ended. Yeah. Oh my God.
I mean, I like to say how it seemed to be here, what seemed to arise and
Mm.
what we call a process, how that seemed to happen. I mean, what else can we talk about it? We can only say what seems to be. And I mean, it's just like science. You can't say what anything is, but you can talk about the patterns that can arise um,
I think so. I think
in
that
nature. Yeah. Yeah, the patterns in nature. So, of course, we can't. That's why we say it seems to be, because we
mm,
really can't say.
it's true.
Like you said, you can't know what gravity or electricity or magnetism is. It's a pulley pushy thingy. You know?
I figured it out. All right. Pushy pulley thing. Pulley pushy.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's as close as we're gonna get.
Yeah.
Um, there's a story by a short story author named O. Henry, and it's a lady and a tiger, I think is the name of the story. And the hero winds up at the end of the story where he has to open one door. He has a choice between two store doors, and he has to open one. Behind one is a tiger, and
Mm.
behind the other is the lady. So you're going along with this story, and you get to the end of the story, and you're wondering which one he's going to open, and then the story ends.
Yeah.
And as a youngster, I always wondered which door he opened. But as I became an adult, I
Mhm.
realized the author didn't know either. It was just a story. There was no door.
Yeah.
Um, that's our condition.
Yeah.
There's no door. It's just a story. But as so often or sometimes mentioned that that too is a story. It's a story about a story.
Yeah. You can't escape the stories.
Gee.
That's why I think it's funny when somebody comments on one of my posts, oh, well, who is there to say that? Or just a story. I'm like,
Oh,
who is there to say that?
who was there
That's
to
just
say
a
that?
story, you can say that to everything. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care.
Right. Well, to me, it becomes more like abstract art, the stories, and everything is very expressive, and it's never correct and never incorrect. It's just this unknowable miracle. Um,
True. One of my short posts was, that's a pretty picture, Vincent, but what does it mean?
oh my God. It sounded like it channeled me from years back,
Really?
or maybe even a couple years ago. Just believing in meaning is like hell to me.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's hell.
Yeah.
It's a hobble. Um, when you hobble a horse, you there's a device called hobbles. I don't know if you're familiar with that or not.
No, I've heard it before, but I don't know what it means.
Ah, it's it's two leather pieces connected by a chain about 12 inches, 14 inches apart, and you buckle one of these onto the front legs of a horse, and they
Mm.
stumble for a long time until they learn that they can run like this.
Oh, okay. Thank you for explaining that. Huh.
Yeah, they can't get too far though that way. Um, and it's I don't think anybody uses hobbles anymore. It's a painful process to go through.
Mm.
But it felt like I was hobbled my whole life.
Yes.
Couldn't go too far.
Yeah.
But now it's free range. Um, in gaming, video gaming is called open world, where you can go anywhere you want.
Free mode, creative mode.
Yeah, 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 or that.
That's what they call it on, well, my kid loves video games, Minecraft. But I think that's where the compassion comes in for us, is the meaninglessness and 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 the hobbling, you know. You look
Mhm.
at somebody and you're like, wow, I don't know what they've been through, but it must have been a lot, it must have been
Mm,
bad.
bad. Yeah.
And there they are, a walking miracle, a mystery.
The capacity to heal um, amazes me. That, of course, everything does, I guess, now, but I have seen people so wounded, so broken, so torn apart by life. And it isn't that they're made complete again, is that somehow they embrace their incompleteness.
Wow.
Um, I did bereavement groups for widows, and some widowers came, not too many. But the healing that happens when a group of ladies get together and talk about the pain of loss, of losing a partner of 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and how they soothe each other and help each other, and how healing comes. It's people that have lost children, people that have lost pets. There was a couple in North Carolina who his house was being torn up by the flood.
Mm.
And the first thing the man grabbed was his dog and a bag of dog food. That was most important to him. And I thought, you sweetheart.
Yeah.
I love, I love, I'm not sure I love humans, but I love being a human. I think it's a closed loop. We are, as far as I can tell, in a closed loop of self-referential memories, a bubble.
Mm.
And somehow the light of being a human and loving yourself unconditionally
Mm.
with all of its humanness tends to create a soft glow around that seems to affect other people.
Hmm.
Um, I'm sure you've experienced that. I know when I'm in your company, I feel this soft warmth that's very pleasant. I listen to what you say. I don't listen to a lot of people. Um,
I'm one
maybe
of the lucky ones.
I'm sorry.
I'm one of the lucky ones.
Yes, you are. Um, there's a certain clarity and purity of what you say that I enjoy.
Oh, beautiful.
Um, that's not true of too many.
Yeah.
Almost everybody else tends to kind of gravitate to not talking about what's happened to them, but suggesting a method or a methodology, a technique, uh, a suggestion.
Yeah.
Just love yourself, or just do this, just do that.
Yeah. I try when I talk about practice, I try to talk about it in a way like a phenomenon that can happen. You know what I mean?
Yes,
You know what I mean?
right. No, no, that's what I've always gotten.
Um, yeah.
Never a suggestion or
Of course, when I was seeking and inquiring and all that, nothing could have stopped me. Freaking herd of buffalo couldn't have stopped me.
a
Um,
uh,
that belief in getting somewhere had to be exhausted.
God, yes. How many books? How many teachers? Oh my. That seems to have to run full cycle before we're at the end of the rope. Um, there's nowhere to go but the void, and that's too scary. I see some people appear to freeze there. They don't go.
Mm,
Something in
yeah,
them
it's
freeze.
fascinating. Mm.
I'm sorry, and what?
The human behavior when the avoidance and running in circles and
Mm,
the terror that can be felt when that sort of comes. Well, just to give it a story, the fear comes from the subconscious. Like we're not really conscious of it because we're constantly running around trying to avoid it. And then when we begin to be conscious of it, we're like, oh, that's why I saw it because I didn't want to see this.
mm,
The vulnerability, the stark sobriety of this.
mm. The meaninglessness of it all. Um, an indifferent universe. Um,
Mm. It's
void.
so innocent to believe that we can become something better.
Mm, yeah, get a better view of it. Uh, uh, I can see why some people don't just stop talking. I've known
Yeah.
two or three. Surreal G stopped for a while,
Hmm. Hmm.
a couple of years, I think, when Eric and Taz came to Cambria, and
I saw your talk with them that you posted on your channel. They seem very lovely, beautiful,
truly,
sweet.
yeah, he talked on several groups, and then they left, and I missed him. He's one of the few that never says anything with which I disagree.
Mm.
Um, David Roll was another one. And he just disappeared. Always had
Um,
the most beautiful little shorts, little vignettes.
mhm.
I remember one, you'd have to read it in his words. Um, he went to a Renaissance fair and he ran across a lady, and they decided that they had known each other in a previous life. And then at the end of it, he says he wasn't sure if that was true or it was just her relatively bare bosom that attracted him.
Right, that's pretty convincing. Yeah, imagination's very strong when the bosom is
Yeah.
full. Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, maybe we did know each other because I'm feeling something here.
Something very familiar about the, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Keep your eyes up here. Man cannot help.
Well, that was that. He seemed like he had a great sense of humor.
Oh, God, he did. He has one about looking for diamonds in somewhere in the south. There's a diamond mine that you can go to, evidently, and that he went there looking for diamonds, but he found the diamonds in the people. But he does it in such a delicate way that is just compelling.
Oh, wow. Michael,
Oh,
you send me a link to some of the stuff he wrote and I'll read it.
oh, it pops up. A lot of the things I write are things that I've written in the past. I just rewrite them sometimes, and
Mhm.
sometimes I post them as his. But his I always post, but they come up just as they come up. And he doesn't talk anymore. Uh,
Mm,
he was going to come out and see me,
mm.
and then it never happened. And that's okay too. Um, the in person, I always put quotes around in person,
Mm.
because there's nobody in there. Um,
Yeah. Wow.
and that's hard for people to
Yeah,
see.
that's a big pill to swallow.
Mhm. Truly.
And
Your spouse.
it's the best news ever if you can just sort of face it.
Ah, takes a
Yeah.
lot of strain off.
Yeah. I want you to check out my latest video. I put some beautiful art in there from a woman who contacted me. Her name is Neria, and there's a few things that we've talked about that I think you'll like in there. The unknowing. I said the world doesn't revolve around you. Isn't that wonderful? You know?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Copernicus thought finally discovered the universe didn't revolve around Earth, and of course they killed him for that.
Oh my God.
Um, yeah, the world doesn't revolve around us
The
because
fact that we would sit here and laugh about that, my God, how is that funny? It is though.
it is. It's delightful. It's what? It's freeing. It's like the cross is dropped. This burden of me of that I see the brain
Mm.
carry burdened with this sense of personal identity that it has to drag around. It's a beautiful device, really. The sense of self, I think, is the jewel of the universe. It's the best and the worst place to be. Um,
I don't,
I
I,
it's
yeah. Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Michael. I'm
oh
sorry.
no, go ahead.
It feels like it's a spectrum, this thing we call self. And it can be more or less sticky, and it can always randomly arise.
Mm,
Um, and it doesn't mean anything when it does. It's just a sort of mechanism that's um but now it's more transparent. So it's very much lighter and when personing traits come up, it doesn't mean anything. It's just a
mm,
state, you know. It's just a flavor or a texture of this that's It never meant anything. It didn't mean someone was here or there's a doer or one who can figure things out. You know.
Yeah, it's so difficult to speak about, and yet
Mm,
it's I I tend to think that or this there is the thinking here that there's nothing beyond words for us. There's nothing beyond concept. We are the a brain's objectified perspective. Uh, there's nothing in our world that is beyond words that we can get to. Um, that's our limit, is our ability to objectify. I mentioned once that my infinity stops at about 200,000 miles because I can't think of anything.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Mine's probably less than that.
me too. I like to brag.
You
That's
and
all.
I aren't math people. I remember that now. We're not
Oh
math
God.
people.
Oh, I hate math. I literally hate math.
It makes me feel so good and warm inside that you hate math because I do too.
One of the thing for emotional, no, intellectual uh, fading is that test where you have to count backwards from 100 by sevens.
Mm.
And I've memorized that 93 is the first move. After that, I go blank.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to even think about it.
I'm glad we have calculators on our phones
Oh
now.
God, I am too. Yeah, I don't have to think ever by sevens. Jesus, who would do that? My wife can do it. Pisses me off. God,
Mm.
it's so easy for some people.
Yeah, isn't it fascinating? We're like snowflakes.
Yeah, snowflakes. We are
Mhm.
snowflakes. A flash in the pan. We're here for just a short moment. I was your age a blink ago. And now I have white hair. What's left of it? Um, I used to have almost black hair, and now I'm an old man contemplating his own death. And so little is remembered.
Yeah, it's like a
I,
dream.
yeah, yeah, just memories. And that's all that ever was, really. Just memories. Um, they're starting to fade. Some of my favorite memories I recall over and over. Uh, yeah.
Well, if there is a reincarnation, let's me and you reincarnate together in the next life.
Yeah, that would
I-
be fun.
I'll
Yeah.
be your mother, okay? I'll be your mother.
Okay.
You have to wait for me, and then we'll come back together.
You betcha.
I'll mother you the way you should have been mothered.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Although everything I am, everything I appear to be, is a result of that barren childhood.
Right.
Um,
Then
yeah.
I'll make you into a monster because I'll pamper you too much.
Oh, you cannot pamper too much. Uh, our son was that we didn't make hardly any money. We were making 12, $15,000 a year when he was little. Very little money,
Yeah.
raking lawns and cleaning houses and cutting wood and anything we could to survive.
Mm.
And he never lacked for a thing. When he was in junior high, he said, Dad, what socioeconomic group are we? I said, Oh, Thad, we're right at the bottom. He said, I thought we were upper class.
Oh,
I said, Oh, Thad, that's the nicest thing anybody could say. He's
His name's Thad.
That, yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, that Joshua Sage Markham.
Oh, wow.
He is a living jewel. I've never had a coarse word with him.
Hmm.
Uh, when he was 17, he said, Dad, if you ever look mean at me, it'll break my heart. I said, I'll try never to look mean at you. I would hold his face in my hand and say, I love you. I'll always love you. You can always count on me. You call me at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll come. No answer, no questions asked. He does that to his kids now.
I feel like on some level we can say that's what we want. We want to be loved for exactly whatever we are, you know.
Yes, whatever we are. I told him I didn't care if he was gay. I didn't care if he robbed banks. I didn't care. Nothing he could do would ever stop me loving him.
Mhm.
And that's
Would you help him bury a body?
what's that?
Would you help him bury a body?
I would do anything for him. I would die for him. I would do anything. Yes, I would help him bury a body. Oh my. Um,
Michael, if you pass before I do and there's life after death, you have to come back and contact me in a dream.
I will try.
Okay.
Your dreams, that's why people, one of the reasons people believe in life after death is that their mother came back in a dream and told them something.
Mm,
Um, we are self-soothers. We we have a soother inside of us. We have a parent inside of us. I know that. One night well, my panic attacks would always come at 3 o'clock in the morning.
mm.
And I thought, why 3 o'clock? And they were terrible. I'm, on the floor making little moany sounds, curled
The
up.
witching hour, I've heard.
The
Whatever that
witching
means.
hour.
Yeah.
Jesus, oh God, that scares me. Um, God, the first one, I thought I was dying. And my wife said, what's wrong? I said, I don't know. I don't know. It was, well,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
It feels like something sitting on your chest, kind of.
oh, Jesus. Yeah, it felt like I was 3/4 of an inch outside my body, and it was just
Right. Okay.
horrendous, and I wanted to die. And more than once, I wound up at the hospital in the middle of the night, and
Mm.
it doesn't help to put your head in a paper bag either, I found
No, no.
out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
one night I was my son had gone to college, and I missed him so much, and for some reason, I was sleeping in his bed, and I woke up. I had a dream, a very vivid dream, more vivid than any dream I've ever had, where I was molested when I was 2.5, and incredibly painful, uh, whole experience. And all I could do was cry, "Mommy, mommy, mommy." No one came, of course. And then I woke up, and there was a finger. Before I woke up, there was a finger stroking my face, my cheek. I don't know if you've heard this story or not.
Yeah, I've heard it, but continue.
Oh. And I thought, who is that? And I thought, oh, that's my finger. I've only got so many stories.
Oh no, I love hearing them, Michael.
Uh,
You probably have more than you realize.
Karen,
Things come up at random times,
they
but
do. Um, but it was just stroking my cheek. I thought, who is that? And it was my finger. I was soothing myself.
yeah,
We all have that. We are our own cookie lady.
yeah.
Um, and we can count on that. It's part of a survival. I think we're highly evolved. It's part of our
Mhm.
survival mechanism. It's a reason we're able to make it through.
Yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. I used to rock back and forth
Ah,
when I would have these sort of mental breakdowns and episodes, I call them, of anxiety, and I would have I used to have tics, and intrusive thoughts, and it was not normal, and I came to a lot of conclusions about it, that I was um, sick and yeah, there was a lot of self-soothing things like the rocking back and forth and it's sort of getting in a rhythm, trying to get in a out of the head. It's like I was trying to
Mhm.
get out of the head and I really am glad that I went through all that and um I get to see it's not fully gone or anything, but it's much, much lighter
Mm.
without the identification and much lighter. I do still get random violent thoughts, um, but they are what they are.
Mm.
There's no lingering of it. Just goes by much quicker.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have violent dreams. Um, Violence doesn't happen. I joke about it. Um, I grew up in a violent society and a violent household, and so it's become part of who I am, I suppose, and I'll joke about it in a way. It
Mm.
sometimes surprises my wife. Uh, I'll say somebody will either get too close to us or create some anxiety in me. And men they're territorial and they don't like people cutting them off and stuff. And I'll say something, honk at that guy, and half kidding, or really kidding. And she'll say, why? I say, well, if he stops, I can pepper spray him. I bought pepper spray for her. And I've always wanted to pepper spray. After watching the videos on YouTube where big tough guy will come up and then puppy little lady will pepper spray him and he starts crying like a baby.
Oh my God.
So part of me thinks I'd like to do it, but I really wouldn't want to hurt somebody that badly. But
Oh, that's so funny.
part of me would. So, but she doesn't understand. So why would you want a pepper spray? I'll say
No.
because
Just because, why not?
yeah, why not? But that's who I am, and I love me, and I
Yeah.
I think that it all simmers down to loving us, loving ourselves with all of our. I still have anxiety. I take what is it, Lexapro. My
Mm,
son took it 2 years before I did and called up Dad. Dad, I think you ought to try this. We have the same anxiety issues,
mhm,
and finally I did, and I thought, gee, this is nice. And
mm,
I mentioned that quite often, and some people, oh, well, you shouldn't take anything. I don't care. I'm into making life easy. I still have all the same issues. I don't feel really anger in my daytime. My nighttime dreams are violent.
mhm.
We had to put pillows between us because I was afraid of hitting or kicking her because I just kick ass, and I like it. I don't like it when she wakes me up. Uh, I don't lose anymore. I'm not frightened in my nighttime dreams. Somebody gives me trouble and I'll down to the ground we go and it's on. It's a fearlessness. Although it's reducing. It's really I haven't had one of those for a long time. But I
Mm,
don't care if it goes away or not. I don't care if anything that I have or anything that comes up goes away. And the whole gamut of human emotions. Um, I suppose insecurities. We have uh, somebody watching our finances, so we will be secure financially. And I have guns, and I grew up with guns. Um, and I feel secure with guns, and now my wife hates guns,
mhm.
and I don't. I like guns. I grew up with them, and lust arises, memories
Yeah.
of those moments in life that where the brain is flooded with feel-good chemicals. All of those things I've embraced of being human, of simply being human.
Yeah.
Lets
Yeah.
me love others for being human too.
Yeah. What fell away was the idea of transcendence.
Yes, why would you want something better than this? What would I do to make you better? What would I do to change you, to make Leah better?
I feel like the all the things that we don't prefer, the violence, the decay, all of it, you name it, the trauma, it
Mm.
it really does make the rest of it so much more beautiful.
Oh, truly. Um, First part of January, I took a fall on the cement,
Mm.
and I joke. I say, luckily, I broke my fall with my face, and I remember the cement. I could see the cement coming out really fast,
Mm.
and I still hurt really badly from that. And I went
Oh
to the
man.
doctor yesterday. I'm just healing very slowly, but it does make me appreciate those moments when I'm pain-free.
Yeah,
And also, it opens my heart to everyone else in pain, much worse than anything I could ever imagine. Uh,
exactly.
Suffering humanity.
Yeah.
Um, for years, my wife suffered from cramps every month,
Mm.
and really painful, and my heart would break for her. And now I suffer for women and childbirth. And now I suffer for old men because I am one, and I suffer for teenagers because I was one.
Yeah.
Uh, that's the law that turns inside and becomes the most beautiful openness to whatever happens. Wow. I saw that thing where I think it was at one of the other sites that I don't visit that often. It was on a Buddha or something.
Or one of the groups.
Yeah, you had posted it there. Is it on
Mm.
your homepage?
If it's in like that Buddha group, it's probably in a bunch of others because when I share like that, I'll just share them all in all the groups. Like
Ah,
I'll do one video and I'll just share it in all the groups that I'm in.
oh, I'll post in three or four. So if I have one that I really like, I'll post it in a couple, maybe three, maybe four. I
Yeah,
have.
I just put it out there, whoever resonates will resonate.
Yeah. Have you ever boosted a post?
You've told me about that. I haven't tried it yet. I'm waiting for the right one.
Yeah, I did it enough to alarm my wife on how much I was spending.
Oh my.
Yeah, and she understands, but I'm back. I spent more than I thought. But God, I some of them I got like 1,000 reactions, and I'll get like 20 or 30 people following me, which I don't know what that means. Uh,
That means when you post something, it will put it in their feed, so they're more likely to see it.
I got you. Okay.
Hmm.
But every 3 or 4 days, 10 or 15, 20, 30 people will follow me. Um, which is all right, I guess. I don't know. Uh,
Hmm. People love
somebody,
you.
what's
People
that?
love you. People love you. They're inspired by you and
No,
your love.
they feel the same about you. You, every time I see that little triangle, that um, that this brain has associated with your name is that that little heart rush happens.
Mhm.
And then I'll go look at it and read it, and I'm always pleased. Miranda does that. Uh,
Mm, mhm,
three or four others. But and I mentioned one time I think that I may have gone insane without those like you,
mhm,
because you hear so much of the do this, do that, just
mm,
be, it's all love, this is it. Um,
mhm.
all of those things that people get hooked on, I think.
Yeah, innocently. It's bound to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to have people like you in my life. It's grand, really, because what?
No.
There seems to be a gradient of this perspective that ranges from a few pre-samples to complete disintegration. I don't want complete disintegration, not that there is me to have a choice, but
Mhm.
um, Frank McCoffey, I think his name is, had he and two of his friends licked the toad,
Oh,
strongest psychedelic in the world. And he and his one of his friends had a good experience. One of his friends said, "Oh my God, I wish I'd never done that."
ooh. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can have a really bad trip
Ooh,
and it can traumatize you. It can change your neurology.
truly,
Hmm.
truly. I always thought I'd like to try mushrooms, and I mentioned that to my son. He said, "Oh God, Dad, don't. There's no reason for you to change." And I thought, "No, he's right. Why would I do that?" The one time I tried marijuana for my tinnitus, changed my thinking enough where I had regretted doing it. But now,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I stopped taking weed gummies because I don't know. It feels like a bad trip when I take because I'll take them for pain sometimes if I have a bad headache, but
hmm,
I'll stay up in bed like shivering and having like doom, like really
hmm,
bad doom. And I was like, I don't know what they put in these things, but
oh,
I'm done.
yeah, I won't take cocaine. Um, yeah, I used to have a very bad cough, but when I stopped taking all my medicines, it went away. It's funny, kind of funny.
Mm,
Um, then I had for a long time I had cocaine in my cough syrup, and I won't take that. I the time I had the marijuana lozenge, which weren't that strong really, my brain started grinding that night. And when I woke up in the morning, this lightness of being was gone. And
oh
I
wow.
didn't know if I wanted to live.
Yeah.
If you were to go back, it would be hard. It would be really hard for you to go back to what you were before whatever happened happened. Um, it gradually came back after over a week, but it scared me enough to,
Stop taking them. No.
right. I know a lady who spent 10 years in this lightness of being, and all of a sudden it disappeared. And she was institutionalized.
Oh wow.
Um, she's since come back, which is nice,
Oh.
but it's been hell. So I'm very
Yeah.
careful about what I take. I'm not sure that this change in the brain is permanent. The
Mm,
brain is plastic and fluid, and
yeah.
this could disappear, I think. Well, in me it did, and that's my only reference.
Right.
Um,
I experimented with LSD for about a year and a half. Um, had lots of mystical experiences, and I tried to be very responsible with it. But I wasn't one of these people who felt like the need to keep doing it. I just kind of like been there and done that and got the t-shirt.
I love that phrase. Oh my God. Got the t-shirt.
I mean, for a while it was a little emotionally addicting because it's almost like you remember an ancient memory of okayness and love and uh like the hippies talk about,
Yeah.
and then when you come off of it, it's not there anymore. It's you and yourself and you fucking hate yourself. Um
Yeah. Yeah.
and who knows, I'm sure there's great health benefits for the brain and for mental health and things like that. They're finding out.
Hmm.
And who knows, it may have helped me in some way. But I'll microdose here and there to get a little bit of energy, but it's not like tripping.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? We're all so different. We're all Stradivarius instruments. We're just finely tuned for survival. And I just can't judge anybody. I can't, you know, for you to make a what possible suggestion could I make to lead it to make her life better?
I
I kind of,
know.
yeah, as if,
It's such humility. Everything is a miracle in a way.
mm,
And you think you want something and you sort of ask for it energetically, and turns out later, no, you wanted the opposite actually to happen. Uh,
mm,
because it made you who you are, you know what I mean? In a way.
truly, truly.
Hmm.
We were first married. We we owned a business, and it was very successful. And I was drinking and doing all the things that drinking entails.
Mm.
And we started another business and then another. And I took on partners. And long story short, we went bankrupt. Everything was lost. And what had been an affluent lifestyle all of a sudden disappeared.
Mm.
And we had three little kids and no job skills. When you own your own business, you don't develop job skills. Nobody wants to hire you.
Mm. Mm.
So we had to move because we lost our house. And we moved up to the mountains with three little kids and a cat that I hated. Spooky, hated adults and he loved kids.
Ah,
Um,
spooky.
but God, it was some of the best times of our lives. We had so much fun, worked so hard, and all the kids learned to work hard, and all of them became workers, hard workers. Um,
Yeah.
and our life, I stopped drinking and smoking and got healthy and strong and became a carpenter. And I loved our life. I still do.
Mm.
But having lost everything was the best thing that ever happened to us.
Yeah.
I love your company. I love your honesty.
Hmm.
Um, I resonate so far. You've never said anything with that doesn't flow easily into who I am. Um,
Hmm. Thank you, Michael. Always enjoy chatting with you. You're a wonder. How you love people so much. I'm just now starting to taste that in my own life.
It's it's so easy. Um, it's stepping off the cliff. We're always stepping off the cliff anyway. But this is awareness of stepping off every step into a vast unknowableness. Um, Playing. You ever watch the movie Palm Springs?
I've heard of it. I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, do watch it.
Palm Springs. Okay.
The idea first may be off-putting, but stick to it.
Okay. Mhm.
And let me know what you think.
Okay. Palm Springs.
Palm Springs.
Maybe we'll watch it tonight.
It's so fun. I won't tell you anything about it, but it,
Okay. Yeah, don't tell me. I hate that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then they, uh um,
I'll send you the link to my video I was telling you about.
yes. Oh, please do. Yeah,
I
I
posted
wanted
it
to
yesterday.
both hear that and see that. Uh, I still have my microphone.
Oh,
I haven't figured out how to use it yet.
it's mine.
Oh, look at that. I got one of the foam things for that, but you got one of those
Oh,
spit controllers.
yeah, yours came in different.
Yeah, it fell on the ground. I don't know if that'll hurt it or not. There used to be microphones that had a little fiber inside or something, but we'll find out if I ever get it going. Um, I'm going to tackle it here pretty soon again. Um, I'm trying to figure out. I have like two whole books of those things saved on pages, my sayings,
Mm.
trying to figure out if you can add indefinitely, evidently, to your Kindle book. There's no
Oh
limit.
yeah.
So I'm going to try to put it on Kindle, the ones that I can. So I may wind up with a 1,200 page book or
There
more.
you go. Oh,
Oh, oh my goodness. Oh, Leah, this has been so much fun.
yes. I'm glad we finally got around to doing it.
Yeah,
Are you gonna post it on your channel or
I am. I'll put it on YouTube if that's okay.
that's fine.
Then y- I think I can post it on your page too. I'm not sure.
On Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, just tag me in it. Just write my name somewhere in
Okay.
there and it'll go to my page.
Okay. Okay. And don't, no matter what people say, don't try to change your accent.
Oh,
Okay?
okay.
Yeah, don't try to talk like everybody else.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I tried to do that in my very first YouTube video.
You are kidding me.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
Oh my God.
Um,
Oh my
I
God.
found it was impossible.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it's hard. You need a coach, a professional coach, that can teach you how to do that. They do have people who do that to movie stars,
mm,
how to speak in Irish brogue or
I'm sure if I was gonna get paid, I could probably pull it off, but no.
don't ever touch it. It's absolutely perfect. It's what? I used to speak Wyoming. There is a definite sound to Wyoming, Idaho, and Utah, but I've lost it now. It's 30 or 40, 50 years, 60 years in California. But yeah, don't change it. It's so good.
It used
Uh,
to be a lot heavier, actually. I moved down to the coast and people talk more civilized down here, so I've sort of adapted to that, but it used to be very, very southern.
oh, it's so
It comes
beautiful.
out when I have a few drinks.
Oh, yeah, don't change. Don't you dare change. Um, yeah,
Mm.
this has been fun.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you go, Michael. I love you.
I love you. Today I bake a cake.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's almost every birthday they'll request my. It's a very dense yellow cake that has buttermilk in it
Mm.
with cream, Boston cream in the center, and a rich chocolate on the outside, and it is so good.
Oh my God, you did not have to tell me that.
Oh God.
Now
Um,
I want it.
oh God, it's so good. Um, yeah, so that's where I'm headed
Okay.
after this.
You gonna decorate it too?
No, it just gets candles. We have a tradition that whenever I come into the house with the grandkids are allowed to take their finger and swipe it. When they were very tiny, they would do that with little chubby Michelin fingers. They'd come out and sneak a bit. And so it's become a tradition where so they have to do that. There's no option now.
Oh.
So
Okay, I'll let you go so you can get started on that. We'll talk soon, Michael.
let me know when you want to talk again, and we'll do it
Yeah.
on your Zoom, and we'll talk about something entirely different.
Okay. We'll try to. We'll try
Try
to.
to. I love it. Oh, you know. Okay.
No.
We'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.
Love to you and yours.
Oh, you too.
Bye bye.
Bye.